Beat the Clock's a very, very good horse. He never misses a place.
Thero's his main one in Beauty Generation.
It's good to see Casper excited on a racecourse. Welcome to the SCMP offices here in Times Square. I'm here with Tom Biddington and Trent Nakers. We're going to delve into everything there is to know about this year's Hong Kong international races. 4 mouthwatering Group 1s await. We caught up with 2 of the heaviest hitters in Hong Kong racing, in Zach Purton and John Moore, to get their thoughts on their superstars as they prepare to take on a swag of international raiders. Tom, HKIR is back. What is it that makes this week so special?
Yeah, it's the one main time of the year when the eyes of the racing world are on Hong Kong. There's $93 million in prize money, and it's a real opportunity for Hong Kong's best horses to test themselves on an international stage. Obviously, we've had a few troubles in Hong Kong recently, so hopefully the whole event can really lift the mood of the place and we get through unscathed.
My word, and of that 93 million, 28 million is the prize pool for the Hong Kong Cup, the richest race that we have here. We've got the informed Casper Founds trained galloper in Rise High.
Rise High, very, very good horse. Hasn't got the Group 1 yet, probably deserves one from what he's done. But as seems to be the case with him, he just runs into good horses all the time.
Glorious Forever and Time Warper both won this race before. You're quick to strike a line through a horse. These two, any chance?
I wouldn't say so. They just don't seem to be going. Time Warp raced pretty well first up, but he needs it all going his way. And I just can't see he's going to get it, especially with his brother Glorious Forever in the race. I think they're just going to go hell for leather at the start and probably just both ruin each other's chances. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'd be very surprised if they won.
And the Cup might be the richest race. The sprint shapes as perhaps the most exciting, with Athero, the 3-year-old, coming in hot form. Beat the Clock warming up. Dual Group 1 winner. We have Hot King Prawn, showed a bit of form first up last start, and obviously missed the stunning last year's winners in the race. Tom, how do you see the sprint shaping up?
Well, Athero was obviously, he's the boom horse at the moment. He was outstanding, winning the Jockey Club sprint last time out. Just speaking to some of the jockeys as they walked out of the room that day, they seem to think if he brings that, he's untouchable. So he's certainly the horse to beat. He gets the weight advantage as well as a Southern Hemisphere 3-year-old. 2 international runners in Danon Smash from Japan and In Her Time from Australia. They'd absolutely have to produce their very, very best to get near there.
It's very hard to beat Hong Kong.
Yeah, historically, you need to be an absolute superstar to take this title from Hong Kong. Obviously, we mentioned a few of the Hong Kong horses. Beat the Clock's a very, very good horse. He never misses a place, has he? Hot King Prawn caught the eye first up. Full of Beauty, another one who's been running well.
Absolutely.
So Athero's the one to beat, but if he doesn't bring his best, maybe one of the other Hong Kong horses.
Certainly all aboard the Athero bandwagon, and the horses built a legion of fans in short time here, none more so than his trainer, John Moore. We caught up with John to get his thoughts as Athero bids to become the first 3-year-old to win the Hong Kong Sprint.
When we bought him, he looked a ready-made 2-year-old, and now as a 3-year-old, he looks a 4-year-old. His mindset and everything is that of a much older horse than what's in the book. Really exciting. He's done everything right except for that one time when he got amongst horses due to a slow getaway, and he was not in his comfort zone then that day. But that was a learning curve for all of us. I know Zach has mentioned to the radio TAB this morning that he can be a little fractious in the gates. That's when Karras rode him the other day, not a problem. My horse's work's going to be cut out, but he's done everything right, leading into the race in 2 weeks' time, and fingers crossed that everything goes to plan.
And another John Moore galloper that knows a thing or two about getting the job done on International Day's Beauty Generation, shooting for a 3rd straight Hong Kong mile, but has lost a bit of his air of invincibility of late with 2 straight losses. Comes up against impressive Japanese raider Indy Champ and the informed Waikuku. Trenton, do you think the champ can bounce back?
You'd be brave to write him off because his best is brilliant. He's been there and done it twice, as we know. So while he's not at his best, he can certainly get back to his best. He's got John Moore training him, so anything can happen there. In saying that, he's going to have to be very good to win because, as you said, Indy Champ comes and he looks a serious horse. If you're looking to stack up some of that Japanese form, he beat home Persian Knight in the Group 1 Mile Championship earlier in November. So that's the form coming out of Japan. But it'd be an incredible performance by John Moore and Beauty Generation to go 3 on the bounce here.
And how much improvement do you think Waikuku's got?
Yeah, enough. I mean, he's got John Size training him as well, who's the best trainer in Hong Kong. History will tell you that. And he's gone past Beauty Generation twice in a row now, so you can't write that off, that's for sure.
Just one horse to keep an eye out for is the Japanese youngster Admire Mars. Real horse on the rise, won 5 of 7, and it certainly wouldn't shock me if he ran a really good race.
Yeah, it's a huge Japanese contingent that we have coming out. You'd be very surprised if they didn't go home with some silverware. We move on to the Vase, where Exultant's shooting for a second win in a row against a field that is loaded with internationals. Tom, what's caught your eye amongst them?
Well, Exultant's obviously the horse to beat, and the form stacking out of last year's race is incredible, with Liz Grassu going on to win the Cox Plate and Voldgeist going on to win the Arc. So really, really good race. Really interested to see Anthony Van Dyke, the Derby winner.
Absolutely.
Aidan O'Brien's horse coming across, see what he brings to the table. And Lucky Lilac's another interesting one from Japan. Connection's paying a $200,000 late entry fee to be in this race. You're not doing that if you've got no hope.
You know they're fair dinkum.
Absolutely. And the other one, of course, is Prince of Arran, who's placed in the last 2 Melbourne Cups. Hopefully Charlie Fellows can draw a better barrier than he did last time out.
And one man who knows Beauty Generation and Exultant better than most is champion jockey Zach Purton. We caught up with him to get his thoughts on the 2 horses ahead of Sunday.
Yeah, only got beat a length of 3/4 last start. He doesn't have to improve much to be in the mix. We just need to find that spark again. And if he sparks back up, we obviously know how good he can be. But we're going into the race this year probably more hopeful that he's going to do it, whereas last year we were very confident that we're going to get the job done.
Is there anything in particular that you feel that's not quite right with him?
He just doesn't seem to have the enthusiasm. When he comes into the straight, he normally grabs a bit, pulls them into the straight, and really wants to put them to the sword and go and get the job done. And John knows what he's doing, and if he can freshen him up and turn him around, hopefully it's there.
And Exultant just seems to answer every challenge that you throw at him. But what makes that horse so special?
I don't know really. You look at him in the mornings and he looks awful. You definitely wouldn't pick him when he's walking around amongst the rest of them. But he's just all hard, he's all lungs, he's got a great set of lungs. The worry now is whether he's flattening himself for his grand final. We're not going to know until we get to the 200 metre mark, and we've got to ask him for everything he's got, whether he's a bit jaded or whether he's going to do it.
It's certainly a huge week ahead for Zach Purton. What are you most looking forward to from this year's Hong Kong International Race Week?
For me, it's the John Moore storyline. It's his last year in Hong Kong. He's been given the boot after this year, so he's going to be, his chips in. He's going out with everything. Thero's his main one, and Beauty Generation. If he can snare a race for that, I reckon it'd be pretty special. But for me, that's the main event.
He's hell bent on going out in the high, isn't he?
What's going to be your highlight, Sammy?
Really looking forward to seeing Rise High go around. Casper's been raving about this horse for months. Very exciting galloper in good form, and as we know, it's good to see Casper excited on a racecourse.
So that celebration
could certainly add to the day if Rise High manages to get the job done. And huge week of racing ahead of us. Thanks for being with us, lads.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Sam.
And thank you for being with us. Look forward to seeing you at the track on Sunday.